Hello everybody, my name is Jarrell Lindsay and I want to talk to you today about static muscle control. Now, static muscle control is something that a lot of you are already familiar with. Flexing, that is a form of static muscle control. Maxick is an old-time strongman who made sure that muscle control was a huge proponent of the way that he developed his strength. Now, when Maxick was a child, he really didn't have ways to train because he was a very sickly child. Funny because his actual name was Maxick. He didn't have a lot of good health as a child, and so his parents didn't allow him to train. His doctors said that he wasn't able to actually do the type of physical activities that other kids his age wanted to do. So what Maxick did was static muscle control. While he was in his bed at home, he would simply flex, use his powers of mind-muscle connection to contract his muscles, just flexing them in different positions to varying degrees of strength. What he found was that he not only increased his muscle control, his ability to access the strength in those muscles, but he also increased his strength. And as he increased his strength, then he found more uses for the static muscle control. Now, isometric exercise is something that I'm a big proponent of. I always love to promote isometric exercises because they are an incredible way to build not just the muscular strength, but the tendon, ligament, and fascial strength of the body. The isometric exercises are something that are important for somebody who is going to be a strong man. I do a lot of horseshoe bending, steel bending, card tearing, phone book tearing, a lot of different strongman feats, and isometric exercises are critical to that. If you're a gymnast and you want to do front lever or back lever or a planche hold, any types of those are isometric holds. Now, a lot of people who hear the word isometrics may not necessarily know exactly what it means, or they might have just heard of it from Pilates and think like planking or something like that. Isometric exercises go so far beyond just, rehabilitation, just planking, just any type of regular exercise. Isometric exercises are best used when you also have that combination of static muscle control. Okay, so now say that I'm doing an isometric exercise and I am putting all of my force into, say that the isometric exercise that I'm doing is pushing my hands together in front of me. Now I can take my hands in front of my chest and I can push them together really hard, okay? Now that's one way to build up that isometric strength, okay? You're putting that force into your hands, all of that force is going into my chest, going into my arms, and that's a good thing. But with static muscle control, it makes it an entirely different ballgame. Using 100% of your muscle strength is really important when it comes to that strength development, okay? The muscle control helps you to get closer to actually contracting 100% of the strength of your muscles. Now, there's something called maximum strength and there's something called absolute strength. The most muscle that you can control is maximum strength. But absolute strength is the full potential strength of your muscles. When you think absolute strength, think of getting that adrenaline rush of that woman who is able to lift a car off of her kid in order to save them. That is absolute strength. Now, the problem with reaching absolute strength is that it requires a huge, incredible strain on your body, and people don't really think about the end of that story, which is usually bicep tears or ligament tears. Any type of injury, any number of injuries can really come from trying to use your absolute strength without having control of that absolute strength. Isometric exercises combined with the static contraction really keys that in. Now you have the isometric exercise here and you employ that static contraction, that static muscle control where you're just flexing your muscles. Now I push my arms together as hard as I possibly can. But even with that wholehearted strength of contraction and force, I can still put in a little bit more force. So you see, what you think is as hard as you can, there's usually other levels to it. And when you actually develop your mind-muscle connection, you can control that with your exercises. Static muscle control is one of my favorite forms of muscle control because it really allows a person to develop their strength from base level. Seeing muscle control on a higher level where you are doing, say, dynamic muscle control and you can actually contract your muscles through movements, or you're doing more ballistic muscle control where you can do explosive motions, and still have that control of your muscle, still be able to retain that. That all is based in the foundation. You always have to start somewhere, and that foundation is the static muscle control. And the uses of static muscle control vary so much. You can honestly build an incredible strength and muscular physique just flexing your muscles as hard as you can. If you don't believe me, I will do a video soon about the Ren training that I've been doing over the course of the past couple months. But if you actually take that foundation of static muscle control and apply it to isometric training, and you apply it to isometric training, and you apply it to developing muscle control for dynamic and ballistic muscle control, it makes an entire world of difference in your physical training, and you will become way stronger, way more controlled, and get closer to that 100% absolute strength peak. Jarrell Lindsay, leanfunctionalmuscle.com. I hope that you guys have learned a little bit something from this video. Please subscribe to the channel when you have the chance, and share this video with your friends. Happy training to all. Thank you.
Believe there's blood on the leaves in the Garden of Eden. Even Eve had knowledge of the sequel. Am I an equal?